G'day guys, welcome back to the channel, and tonight I'll be doing, well, another episode of AFL Q&A for season 2022. So we'll get stuck into some of these questions. Because the question volume is increasing slowly but surely, I'm only doing a top 5, so the video doesn't go for half an hour, essentially. So, yeah, top 5, I'll just be picking, you get the drill. Anyway, I will go through these ones, and we'll start off with Luke. Good question. What teams do you think can make the top 8 that missed out last year, and do you think the Dogs can still make the 8? Well, there's definitely a few teams that are kicking goals right at the moment. I think Carlton might be one. Obviously, it didn't make it. We've got the Saints in really good form. If Adelaide keep up this form, they're definitely a chance. Obviously, we've got the Dockers there who start off brilliantly, 4-1. I don't think the Suns can make it. The Pies, at their absolute best, might be able to do it if they can sustain it. So there's definitely a lot of sides that weren't in the 8 last year that could find their way into the top 8 this year. And do I think the Dogs can still make the 8? I think they can. I don't know if they will, though. Pretty disastrous grand final we saw, and they're just, I don't know. Teams either worked them out or they just don't have that same drive, or they're definitely missing a few key posts and look a bit flaky when English is down and out. Obviously, probably missing a key forward, a key defender, a bit of everything. So their midfield's fine. That has to be firing, and players get great numbers. But I've definitely got my concerns. They will probably sneak into the 8. Although, I don't know if they'll do a lot of damage, which, all good and well to make the finals, but you don't want to drop into 8th spot, because then you just go out week 1 or week 2, best case scenario. Darren, I may be a week late with this question, but do you think it's unfair that there's a lot of talk going around at the moment that North Melbourne should be stripped of their marquee Good Friday clash because of their recent poor performances on that date? For example, Melbourne played on Queen's birthday as the home team against Collingwood for the best part of 20 years and got to keep that clash the entire time despite several poor performances throughout that period. Well, we've just seen Carlton and Richmond. Richmond beat Carlton for pretty much 10 years, and it just depends where they're at. Dogs, they're kind of around that. They were around that grand final sort of status, playing wooden spooners. So you're naturally going to see some blowouts, and I think, ideally you want the game to be competitive and you want it to be close, but I think North Melbourne defeated them in 2019. So it's not like it's been 30 years of 10-goal wins, and I don't really know if it. I think the occasion's almost bigger than actually the teams that are playing, and it is good for them and their supporter base to be able to get out there and support on such a great cause. I don't recall if there has been ever any teams stripped of their privileges of playing a certain game. We know Essendon and Collingwood. Essendon have been down the bottom end of the ladder. They were up at the top end of the ladder in 2000. Where were the Pies going in 2000? So a lot can change pretty quickly, but I don't think it needs to change, so to speak. I don't know if it changes after 20 or 30 years of 10-goal losses, but that wouldn't happen anyway, because North will eventually go up the ladder and the Dogs will eventually slide back down the ladder. And one day North might be in that position where they win by 10 goals. So, never quite know. Tyson has asked Tyson a question. Do you think the Swans will make the grand finals? I think they've got weapons and are a very dangerous side. Do I think they can make the grand final? I think when they're on, we saw what they could do, against probably Hawks, and they made Geelong look pretty ordinary. I think they've got the weapons to be able to make it. I reckon they're probably more than likely a semi-prelim final scenario. I can see them winning a few finals. Grand final, not sure, but they never give up. They very rarely get beaten by much. They never give up. The Bloods, the culture that they've got there, probably close to a grand final next year, I would have thought. But in saying that, they've definitely got the young talent and some experienced players that could get the job done. Dawn to Dark Productions, why are Geelong goal videos limited to 3 minutes? So sick of this question. I uploaded full games. The AFL said stop doing that, and they said you can upload up to 3 minutes. So I'm just following doctor's orders. I'll move on for the next one. How many have I answered? So I've answered 4 so far. All right, so one of these will make it through, and I like this one, George. You reckon the Blues are going to finish in the 8? At their best, they're going to finish top 6. It's likely where they'll finish, probably right in the 8 or just outside the 8, I would have thought. So, they're definitely great at the clearance game, but probably not the most sustainable brand of footy. Their turnover game definitely needs some work. And probably when an opposition gets momentum, they're not really able to stop it very well at the moment. So credit to them for being able to get wins, not playing the sustainable brand of football. And they've definitely got some great sort of key posts and an incredible midfield. I think it would have to be a few injuries or a few things to go wrong for the Blues not to make the 8 from here. They've started off well. They've been exposed a few times. The Suns and obviously the Dockers have shown them the way. But if they're winning more games than they're losing, generally you slip into sort of 8th spot, 7th, 8th spot. So those are my top 5 sort of questions for this week. So to not make these videos 3 hours long, I will keep them to the top 5 questions and sort of go through that accordingly. So guys, I appreciate all your questions, and just stay tuned for the community post that I'll usually post on the Sunday or whenever the round sort of finishes, and usually we'll get it sorted out on the Wednesday or Thursday night, all depending on time and bits and pieces I've got going on. So yeah, that's a wrap of that. Thanks guys for tuning in and for asking your questions. Once again, stay tuned for the community post. That will be Sunday night. Have a make sure you click the bell so then you get notified, and then you can ask your question. I'm only doing the top 5, so ask a really good question, you'll get a good response, and you'll be a really good chance to get answered. So, guys, really appreciate you asking away once again, and looking forward to doing another one of these very soon. Stay tuned, subscribe, like the video, all that good stuff. Thanks for sticking around, team, and I'll see you on the next video.